Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please take your seats. Roll call, please.
Ister.
Savage.
Here. Procius.
Here.
Ramos. Here. Troop.
Here. There are two additions to the agenda. One is the pension audit that was just spoken of, and the other is the internal control review. Do I have a second to accept those two additions?
Savage. Yes. Procius.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
Troop.
Yes.
Ister.
Okay, at this time, is there any public comment on agenda items? Please remember of the 3-minute time limit. Is there any public comment? Please state your name.
Victoria Rosencrantz, Chester Street, Sunbury. Under old business, the demolition of 724 Market Street rear. Mr. Ramos, or Councilman Ramos, when you discuss this, I hope we can, and also Solicitor Weeks, that we can get some clarification on things. It is my understanding, filed by right to know, there are 3 bids. So if you could please tell us which bid was chosen. The other thing is, I have a question about this property. This started way back in 2022. Reading the redevelopment authority minutes, if you could clarify if the city purchased this for $1 from the redevelopment authority, so that way that they could apply for blight funds from Northumberland County. That was in the redevelopment authority minutes back on 2/22/24. And if we know how much the county is giving for the demolition of that property. And also, I'm just really confused about 2 meetings in a row. It was Superior Court, this, that. We have to get bids to fix it as opposed to demolition it. I have a right to know. I have 1 bid to fix it, which really that bid is to put a Band-Aid on it. I mean, seriously, after reading engineer reports. So I'm confused as to how we went from Superior Court, now we're gonna demo it, and not that I have an issue with that, I'm all about public safety, okay? And the gentleman that owns it contacted me today, and let me tell you, he was held accountable too, okay? I didn't take his side, I told him he had a problem that's from 2022 that he didn't take care of, okay? But my other concern was, there's 1 bid to put a Band-Aid on that property, and my other question is, was that put out to public for those bids? And there's only 1 bid on that to put a Band-Aid on it, basically, after reading those engineer reports. Who did that 1 bid come from? That came from Mr. Barner. So that was Barner Home Improvements for $48,000 to put windows and fix a porch. And based on the engineer reports, that, to me, Mr. Brumbaugh is like putting a Band-Aid on that property. So I'm just really confused. And I'm just going to go with what Mr. Councilman Savage just said, which is let's go, and the people deserve better. So let's be honest with the citizens too. That's where I'm at.
Can I answer that? Okay, I'm going to be very clear. I've been honest the whole time.
Oh, I didn't say you weren't.
I know. I'm just saying, this is a problem property. It's been a problem for 2 years that we've been dealing with. The issue is, the Superior Court says we needed, and this was last fall, that we needed 3 bids, thank you, to fix it, to go along with the 3 bids and knock it down. We can't find 3 people who will do it, mainly because the thing is so full of crap, you can't get inside to see what needs fixed. That came to light in the last 2 weeks, that the reason we can't get a clean bid is it's so full of hoarded stuff that Mr. Barner, for example, couldn't even see this, that, or the other thing. So finally, in all honesty, I said, we're not going to get any more bids. This is dangerous for the kids walking to school through there. Let's knock it down.
Okay, so
And if I got to deal with the ramifications in court, that's what we'll do. So that's the honest answer.
I'm just asking if those bids were put out there advertised, is my question.
And I don't know the answer.
Which bids?
I don't have it. I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I don't
To repair.
advertise it.
To repair.
Or
No.
Okay, because your statement was last meeting, because I review all the meetings, and your last statement was, I'm meeting with him next Tuesday. And I'm taking it that here at City Hall was your comment, and I would take it that that was Mr. Barner from Home Improvements that you met with here to go to give you that bid for $48,000.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the next thing though is, that didn't really mean anything other than for you, Joel, you needed something to indicate it wasn't feasible to fix it.
Okay, but that's not what I asked. The problem is, please explain. If you're asking for bids, are they not advertised? Is that the law? Is that the process?
We only needed 3,
I understand that, you got one.
we got
Was
1,
it advertised, that's all I'm asking.
and I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second, you guys did it for free. Who wants to come over there and take their time out of their busy schedule?
I didn't ask that,
No, no,
Mr. Ister.
no.
My question
I'm gonna
is,
explain
was
something
it
to you.
advertised?
No, there's a
Thank you.
reason behind
Thank
it.
you.
I'm gonna tell you the reason. You gonna pay attention or not?
Are you gonna pay attention to me when I speak to you? Because you clearly don't sometimes.
Guys, let's,
Okay,
okay,
let me finish, please.
So no, the answer
I asked
was it
him-
wasn't advertised.
Right.
That was my answer, I'm good.
I asked him as a favor to go write something else.
As a favor. Oh, we finally got it on film, thank you. Got it.
See, people do things free for the city. Not everybody wants to make money off the city. And he gave us an estimate
Oh, I would love to know what money I made off the city.
keep going, come on, keep going, guys, let's go.
Joel, you did ask for bids, am I right? And he gave you a bid at no cost, turned it into you, so the procedure could keep going, am I right?
Right.
Okay,
Well, the
thank you.
procedure is normally we would get 2 more bids, but we didn't because it's just not safe and nobody else wanted to do it. I know that, I was told that many people were contacting contractors to do it, they wouldn't do it. I didn't contact anybody.
So what
because
about
that's
the
not my job.
contractor that might live in Wilkes-Barre? Did he know that those bids were being taken? No,
Not,
he did not, thank you.
I think, but solicitor, does the law actually say that you can solicit quotes before you actually publicly advertise?
right,
it?
the law tells you to.
Thank you.
Mhm.
This is a mood issue to me. I mean, this is nuts.
Any
It's
other,
not nuts, because we're trying to understand the process. And the other question I asked was,
If
did
they
the
want to tear down a
Bureau
house,
of
they should submit
Authority?
a quote.
What's that?
If they want to tear down a house, they should submit a quote and we'll work with them.
That's not even what I was gonna say. Now you're talking over me when I'm asking.
I'm trying, I'm not trying to be rude, like, pass the
Yeah,
3-minute
okay,
rule,
well,
so.
yeah, again, so, okay, it was a favor, I got that on film, great.
Any other public comment at this time on agenda items only? Agenda items only at this time. All right, moving on, approval of minutes, minutes from the February 13th and 23rd meetings and reports from the fire department, police department, treasurer, controller, code office, health department, parks and rec, and planning commission. Do I have a second?
Second. Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Brochus.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes. True.
Yes.
I do have a proclamation here for the month of March for Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, where it reads as, people with disabilities are an integral part of our community, contributing their skills, talents, and experience in social, culture, and economic riches for the city of Sunbury. Whereas a disability experience the nature part of human diversity, it is a crucial rise of awareness that the value of inclusion and removal of barriers that hinder full participation in society. Whereas their month serves as a time to celebrate their achievements as individuals with disabilities and reaffirm our commitment to ensuring equal access to employment, education, housing, and community life. We recognize that creating an inclusive society requires ongoing efforts to eliminate physical barriers, and empowering these individuals to live a rich and independent life. The City of Sunbury is committed to fostering an environment whereas all residents regarding their disability can thrive and nothing can hold them back. Therefore, I, Mayor Josh Brochus, the City of Sunbury do hereby proclaim March as Developmental Disabilities Month here in the City of Sunbury, where we call upon all citizens to celebrate the value and talents of people with disabilities to work together to rebuild a more inclusive community. And that was read as the proclamation for Disability Awareness Month here for the month of March 2026. Moving on to old business, parental leave. I know this was brought up at this council meeting. I know Solicitor Weiss and Treasurer Martino working on a policy. I know they contacted each and every one of you for your input on this. I know Solicitor Weiss had one change to that he wanted to make in there on, so everything was legal.
What I suggested was that after speaking with Councilman Savage, the portion regarding the part-time employees being prorated be removed because in Sunbury, part-time employees do not earn vacation and or sick time, which is the only way to use the parental leave policy. Therefore, to avoid any confusion in the future, we would take out the prorated portion for the part-time employees. Other than that, everything would remain the same, And as that is a de minimis change under the law, I think you're okay to go ahead and do the first reading with that caveat, that change will be made before the second.
All right, any questions for Solicitor Weiss on that? All right, so
This is saying that they have to use their PTO end of sick time before FMLA kicks in, is that correct? In policy.
Right.
This is costing the city money.
Right.
And so, and
This is
part of,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
the same part, Isaac, it says, parental leave may not be utilized for more than one qualifying event for a child for an eligible employee. This is in totality or per calendar year?
what number, what bullet, what point?
It says
Per child,
per child, so
so only one per child, so the kid only gets 4 points.
what I'm saying is like, okay, but like, is it like,
Well, they have to say they have a child in 2026 and they have one in 2028, then it, or whatever, it starts over per child.
Or if they have 2 in 2026 in 9 months, which would be almost impossible, but.
Anything's possible now,
Yes.
okay.
with today's science.
But Kevin, the answer to your question is no. What this does is it allows employees to use sick time and vacation time without having to lie about it or anything else in order to take off when they have a week.
Any other questions for Solicitor Weiss on the legal end of it? All right, so I'll make the motion for the parental leave policy. Do I have a second?
Second? Second.
Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
True.
Yes,
Ister. Yes.
All right, moving on to demolition of 724 Market Rear. Councilman Ramos.
Okay, so we got 3 quotes to demolish 724 Market Rear. One's from Affordable Construction Demolition LLC, and that is a total of $18,700. The other proposal we got was from demolition contractor from Mike Eden, and that's for $18,850. And then our last proposal we got was from Svedkus Paving and Excavating, that's for $19,300. So I don't know which council would prefer to vote, but I would suggest the $18,700.
Is that your motion?
No, I got a question.
Oh, sorry.
The municipal authority, we have credited $5,000 down there for demo work, material. So if we take and reject them and rebid for just demo itself, we take care of all the materials. It should run over 5,000, but we would pay the balance. Let's say it runs 8,000, we would pay the balance. Between the 5, we can save probably, a nice piece of change, we save for that, I think we can save.
So you're saying we have to go out to get rebids to do, is that what you're saying?
Just for the demo, no materials. The demo materials.
So just the cost of demo?
Just
Demo.
taking it down.
Joel, on a legal aspect, how this has gone on for since December, what's your legal opinion on what puts us at the least amount of liability?
Here's the issue. If some kid gets hurt in the meantime, we're liable. That's what causes me concern about waiting. On the other hand, I understand where Councilman Eister's coming from as far as saving $5,000. So let me ask this question, I guess. Jim, if we would not use the $5,000 on this project, would we still be eligible to use it later?
Well, I say with that being said, this being an issue for now 3 months, I mean, Councilman Ramos makes the motion on one, I will second, so we get this property down, so the safety issue is there. As Nate said, let's roll with it. Not with this, but in general.
we have the money to do this. We have the money to do this, or we get it from the county, or how we get it?
We got paid from the county already.
The county gave us one.
Lisa,
It just came today. It was, well, it was brought to my office today.
okay. It wasn't there yesterday.
So Councilman Ramos?
Okay. So I'll make the motion to accept the Affordable Construction Demolition LLC proposal for $18,700.
Second.
On the question though, how long do we think it'll take the municipal authority to chip in?
No, they're not chipping, they're out of picture now.
Well, for the materials.
So they owe, like, as Councilman, so they owe us, I won't say a credit, we'll call it a credit. So when this does happen again, that credit is still on the books for the next project, I won't say project, but if this shall happen again, that's still on the books that we could use moving forward.
One project a year, that's the agreement we put in every year ago.
So you still have positions.
Man, we should have used it last year.
Do we have any?
Well, the county's covering the cost.
Well, they're covering that cost this time too.
Well, this last one, we're short $3,500.
Not this one, she just got a check for 20,000.
Yeah, but it cost us over 20,000 to do the last one.
On Fifth Street,
Well, we had that $5,000 credit, now good to know about.
This one's not gonna cost us.
Right. No, but we already lost one. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Come down, that's fine.
True.
Yes.
Ister.
Savage.
Brochus. Yes.
Ramos. Joel, is that bid out? Those quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta contact them tomorrow. 18, 17. Yeah. All right, moving on to new business. These are the additions that were added. So the pension audit, yeah, I'm just gonna have you speak, put in form of a motion, I'll make in the motion.
I recommend you make a motion to accept the 3 audits done by the attorney, by the Auditor General's office in process whatever things need to be done.
All right, I will put that in the form of a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ramos.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Ister. Yes. Yes. Moving on to the second edition is the internal control review. Accepting that. Do I have a second? Savage.
Yes.
Brochus. Yes. Ramos.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Ister. All right, moving on here now, Controller Alex, as I stated before, as I kind of stated in the work session previously, what I meant by forensic audit after from talking to Tony on what his findings were, and it's number 1. So as the former Chief Bremergen, now part-time Patrolman Bremergen stated, that there are different options out there which the city can take. Now, I'm not saying we need to make a decision tonight, but I'm going to explore some of those options and come back to City Council with what we think is best for everybody. Does that work for you in that explanation now why I have it on the agenda? Okay, just want to make sure, I know you had issues with how it was worded, so. All right, any questions on that? All right, moving on, the motion to add Jen Broomball, we're gonna have to table that to a later meeting, so I make a motion to table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ramos.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Brochus. Yes. Ister.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
All right, Councilman Ister.
This is a young gentleman, we're gonna terminate him. Just, can't handle the job apparently. Jeff, you spoke to him, did you speak to him?
I can't get a hold of him. I go to his house, but I can't get a hold of him.
Hasn't showed up for.
Ghosted us, no phone.
No phone, I keep a letter on the door. I make a motion to accept the, return.
Second. Brochus. Yes. Ramos.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Ister. Savage. Yes. Keep going, Councilman Ister.
Table that, hiring. I think we have somebody in-house, we'll be moving up into that position.
Okay. Just making a motion, so second. Second, well, who would give it somebody? True.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
Brochus. Yes. Savage.
Yes.
Ister. All right, moving on, Councilman Ramos.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the second reading of the fee ordinance for the cities.
Second. Ister.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Brochus. Yes. True.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
Keep going, Councilman True.
Yes, Mr. Shambaugh has a piece of property that runs between 2 houses up there on 9th Street.
No.
Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, he'd like to acquire that piece of property. Can I ask, is we're gonna make sure there's easement for the property next to it? That would be in the deed or anything like that, so does anybody have to get back to the other property across from you there? Where the hedges run?
There's an easement in it.
Is there easement? Okay. And Joel, I'd like to accept the Joel though.
Because we didn't hold the, everything ran on the tight post.
Okay, so
We can't do this because we didn't have the hearing tonight because we ran over. So we're gonna have to do it at the next meeting, and I apologize to Mr. and Mrs. Brumbaugh, but we have to hold the public hearing before the meetings, and we went right into the other thing. So I do apologize, everything is ready to go, and it has been approved by the planning commission, with my understanding is no suggestions from them, so that it's simply a matter of holding a public hearing prior to the next meeting, so that we can then enforce the order. Right? Sorry.
Good things take time, right, Mr. Brumbaugh?
I promise you it's coming, sir.
Couple of years.
What's the big deal, right? All right, so,
Jim, you gonna rename that street then?
I am. Yeah. Suzanne's Lane.
Oh, so
There you
nice.
go, Steve, get that sign ready.
all right, so, Councilman Troop, do you make the motion to table?
Yeah, make a motion to table that.
Second.
Ister. Savage. Yes. Procius.
Yes.
Ramos. Yes. Troop.
Yes,
All right, keep going, Councilman Troop.
guess we have a package street, reconstruction, change order. Steve, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah, this is change order one for 3/4 accounts that we installed last year. This is all municipal authority work that was done on the east side there of 4th Street, and they're compensating.
Is there a motion, Councilman Troop?
Make a motion that we accept this change order?
Second.
Ister.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
Troop.
Yes.
Councilman Savage.
I'll make a motion for the approval of abstracts and vouchers for the general fund in the amount of $70,133.04, liquid fuels in the amount of $9,682.87, and payroll in the amount of $70,488.18.
Second.
Ister. Savage.
Yes.
Procius.
Yes.
Ramos.
Yes.
Troop.
Yes.
All right, then moving on to discussion items, community service, and I'm gonna put the snow angels together. So with the last couple of months here, the program's really doing well. With the snowfall hitting, we were able to help out a lot of individuals throughout town. We logged over 60 hours of community service with them, and over 235 hours through everything throughout the 2 months. So if anybody knows anybody out there with the weather getting nice, anyone who, may not be able to, be able to take care of their lawns or looking for people to help, clean up their yards, send them to Jeff, because we do have people working in the community service hours through the YES program upstairs that we can assist those individuals who may not be able to do it for themselves. So if anybody knows anyone looking for assistance with that, send them Jeff's way, and we'll make sure we get them on the list for the assistance of, helping them with their properties and so on and so forth. That way Councilman Ramos doesn't have to go down. Yeah, look at that. All right, anything else on the community service or anything like that, anyone? All right, and then just moving on here to city fee collection. I know the treasurer's office, I know Lisa has been working with the code and Jeff on that. I didn't know if you guys had any update on how that process and procedure's going and things like that.
We are making some, I don't want to say changes, we didn't get there yet, but we are trying to find out new carriers, new machines. We're trying to update the existing list we have, because there's a lot of names on there that have the games in their business, but they do not own the games. So we're working on finding out owners and businesses, and then who's getting the who's getting, and their details are gonna go out soon, so
All right,
we're getting there.
sounds good. Any questions on that one? All right, moving on here, then to announcements.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Nate. I'm
I
sorry.
had something under discussion.
You go right ahead, sir.
So, and this was on the work session agenda, which we ran over a little bit, as I announced earlier. But I do want to say, as a member, I think that we need a look at our contract procedures. So when I think, no matter what department's for, no matter who it's for, I think when we have vendors coming in, we need W-9s, proof of insurance, we need scopes of work, expected costs, terms and length of the contract, so that we know what is going on. There have been at least, I want to assign blame, at least 3 departments that have authorized work that we did vote on to make the expenditures legal. However, I think that a better business practice is having upfront contracts with expected W-9s, proof of insurance, scopes of work, costs, terms, transactions, and length. on file, in hand, before work starts. I think it covers us, I think it covers individuals, and I think it covers the city. And if anybody else has a comment, I'm willing to hear it, but that's my statement.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I'll comment that Nick, I'll volunteer to work with you on developing a form for that subject. That sound good?
I love it.
All right, thank you.
Joel, you already started it.
Well, we have a contract going, but it's everything he just said, so we'll add that to it and incorporate everything. And plus what you told me.
If I, or, yeah, there's certain things that need to be in context, so, you know, for example, insurances.
Important.
Not only that, but the barn, policy on the barn, that also goes down to subcontract. So, I mean, there's a number of things that should be in our contract, so we need to work on that.
Agreed.
I also want to emphasize, I'm not assigning blame, I think it's a general better practice. That's it.
It should be. It's long coming.
Anything else for discussion as we move on to announcements? All right, moving on to announcements. This is very important. Francis, please take note of this one. City no parking ordinance goes back into effect March 15th. So please make that sure that's in the paper somewhere, because Todd Harvey will be the most popular guy in town again. So, once again, no parking ordinance goes into effect March 15th. We do have open seats to the following committees: Planning, Board of Appeals, and Civil Service Board. The next council meeting will be held here on March 23rd at 6:15. PELRAS will be taking place, which is the Public Employer Labor Relations Advisory Services, from March 27th through, 25th through the 27th. The Sunbury Police Department and the Goodwill's Host Company will have their all-inclusive Easter egg hunt on March 28th at the Goodwill Playground, starting at 9 a.m. going to 12:30 p.m. Earth Day cleanup will take place in Cameron Park and Front Street on April 22nd from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Earth Day celebration is April 25th at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Cameron Park. The same with Stroll will be taking place in Sunbury on June 6th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Is there any other announcements by council or elected officials or chief of police? All right, at this time, is there any public comment? Please remember of the 3-minute, warning, when you hear the buzzer go off, whatever you want to call it. Please, raise your hand. Please state your name.
Jim Broomall. Mr. Ramos, I would like to know how you're making out with getting new people in the office working.
I'm still working on that. I have multiple applications in, and right now I'm trying to get trainings established so that when Lisa, Vince, and the new hire, when they start,
I mean, it went from 6 down to basically 2 for a long time.
Right.
So it's not an issue as far as money getting someone in. But 2 people cannot cover the city.
Right. Well, the issue right now is I need to get the department moving up to speed as fast as possible. So if I can find somebody that has the International Car Maintenance Code certification, that's ideal, so that it's less training that the city has to actually pay out. Then Vince and Lisa, our current code officers, can rely on that individual's knowledge and certification to then do these inspections and be all.
Otherwise, it's just the 2 you have in there now.
Correct. Right now, we got the code clerk, and she's doing great. She's learning, and there's still more for her to learn, but right now it's just.
But she's not out in the street.
Correct.
Right, yeah, well, you need more out in the street.
Andrew worked on that.
Do you know, I know back last fall when former councilman John Barnhart was here, he signed a contract with NEIC for training and iWorks and so on and so forth. Do you know if that training was ever implemented to the code office at the time, or are we still due to get that training yet, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, I actually just got that contract. I acquired that with Joel, and right now, I don't think it's been implemented.
Okay, I'm saying if we still have that training to get from them yet, that would be.
From my understanding, I don't think it was signed.
Well, I know we voted on it. If I didn't sign it, I'll happily sign it. It's not a big deal. That's why I was just wondering if we ever got the training or not. Like I said, if we're still owed that training, that'd be great when you get that new hire. Like, okay, hey, we're gonna sit down and get this training for all 3, and then these 3 people have that training, or whatever training Jackie will give. Yeah, so I'll just have, okay. Anything else, Mr. Brumbaugh?
Well,
I'm good.
I had a clarifying question, so what are we waiting on?
For the hires?
No, for the trainings.
Oh, I don't know, you have to ask Councilman Ramos. He has whatever he wants.
Contract wasn't signed.
The contract wasn't signed.
I mean, we already voted to get it, we already voted on it, it's just a matter, it wasn't, the training was never implemented yet.
Well, we're looking at Congressman, I was good. We're looking at Councilman Ramos and saying that he needs to get people trained, and then we're saying we allocated the funds to get people trained, but.
Correct, we never actually, we voted on a contract to get the training done, but the training never happened.
Well, I think there's a middle step in there that we're missing.
What's the middle step?
The signing of the contract.
Oh, I'll sign it, just give me the contract, I'll sign it.
Okay, so then sign it, get people trained, and hire somebody else.
But I also want to make sure that it's in the budget, because I know when it came to budget talks and the way the code department's budget fell as it went, I have to make sure that I have the money to actually continue to train them. So if the money wasn't paid out to NEIC, and we get a hire that has the IPMC certification, we just save the city some money right there. But again, it's a budgetary issue where it's been reduced, and I have to make sure that it's there before I actually get the money.
That we're budgeted for.
I just want to make sure it's not overextending myself.
You're down 4 employees, so there should be efficient money to hire 1 or 2 more around the street.
Correct, but there were some positions that were eliminated.
Pardon?
There were some positions that were eliminated.
And we signed an NEIC contract.
Correct.
So.
Well, you give me that training contract and I'll sign it so you can get those people trained.
And I appreciate your fiscal prudence.
Thank you.
All right, any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name.
Julie Brocious, I just have a question. With that training, isn't that actually software program for training?
I know at the time that was part of the training. Like I said, I can't speak for Jackie on what the training will entail.
No,
I guess it goes down to what Councilman Ramos' request of her in that training.
no, doesn't the company itself, iWorks, offer free training on their software? Since you
Correct.
bought the program.
They do offer training for free for Iowa.
So you're saying that Jackie will be, from your knowledge, and saying, I don't know if you saw the contract yet, so she'll be doing more boots on the ground training rather than the iWork training that we get for free?
Correct, that's Mr. Graham. But when it comes to iWork as well, they do a very surface level training of how to work and navigate the system. But there's very specific ways that Jackie would recommend that the code officers implement and put these in iWork so that if people request right to know, is that it's clear for them and we have everything that they need, so.
I mean, with that being said, since Jackie's kind of here now, I don't see a part-time basis, when she's in the office, are they allowed to go over and ask them some of these things so we're not waiting for that training to go into effect? Because it sounds like, you know, she's helping the code office in certain aspects, and she helped them on that part of iWorks.
Yeah, they can go over and ask her any question that they like. I mean, if she says yes, she says yes, she says no, she says no. But also in the caveat of the contract that we sign with NEIC is that if there's anything outside of the scope that we sign, they can charge us $100 an hour.
Let's not do that.
So we have to be careful with, yes, we can ask her any question, but she goes, okay, well, it took me an hour, $100.
Let's not hold that.
So I'd rather have the contract that was already established from former Councilman Barnhart, if I can, if it's in the budget, have that language.
All right, any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name.
Christine Rosencrantz. I just have 3 comments to make. I might be the more quiet Rosencrantz, but it doesn't mean that I'm any less passionate. I find it to be very disrespectful that not one of you sitting up there had the respect or moral decency to get back to me regarding the information I sent about Light Fest Committee. No response is a response. So basically what you guys have said to me in that is that you didn't value anything that Victoria and I did for the city for 9 years. And that's really sad. Displaying and expressing value for others goes a long way in community participation and buy-in. It's a basic human need. We all want to feel like we have a purpose and value in the service we provide. Good, effective leaders know that you're only as good as those you surround yourself with. Secondly, 2 council meetings ago, I'm someone who feels very deeply, and it was extremely hard to watch one councilman's display of behavior. It's amazing when you just watch, observe what's going on, the body language, the eye contact, the body shifting, the heads down, not just the words that are spoken. What you can glean is really going on and the tension behind it. And you know at whose expense it was? Chief Bremergen, a man who has dedicated 20+ years to this community and has bridged the gap between the citizens and the police department to a level never previously seen. It was all ego-driven, and it was disgusting. And right in front of Chief Bremergen, and that is what is the most painful. I can appreciate the point regarding accountability and transparency of expenditures, and it was quite obvious that a policy needs to be created and put into place as a result, so that it never happens again. I just find the timing of the discussion interesting, and that the subject was brought forward in a public setting when the mayor did it, not when the other department did it. I wonder how that employee would have felt to be front and center at a council meeting with such a heated discussion after all the time they dedicated to the city. It was extremely poor taste. Finally, running the city is a business. I think it's deplorable that issues are brought forward by council or citizens, and then for one reason or another, the loop is never closed. As a manager, the majority of my career, I was held accountable for all issues, and issues should stay in the old business section until that loop is closed. Responses such as, we're working on it, or I have a meeting next Thursday, or whatever, false narrative wants to be spun in the moment as to why it has not been addressed, might have been acceptable in the past, but that no longer works, and it's no longer acceptable in 2026. I believe that each department should have to do a quarterly or a bi-monthly report about where you're at, what you've accomplished, and what is still needs to have the loop closed. It's time to start doing the right thing and upholding your positions from a moral and ethical compass to the citizens you serve.
Thank you. Any other public comment at this time? Please state your name.
Victoria Rosecrans, Chief Bremergen, if you're still here, sorry, we're gonna go down this road one more time, but, so, just to piggyback what Christine said. So, first off, Councilman Savage, thank you for putting on about the contracts and all those things, because I have copies of contracts, no contracts, for several projects that were very costly in the city. So I wanna thank you, because I do see the good that is happening. But I sit here in the accountability, and, you know, when I ask questions, they're not answered. And I know you don't have to answer them because it's public comment, but I'm gonna go on here. So, Councilman Savage, I just have to go there one more time because this involves me. I've been to the 2 meetings, and this, we're going back to the $99.39, and it wasn't $200. And yes, there were receipts put in, and then there were receipts withdrawn, and Mayor said, you know what, I'll do this. The secretary paid for this. It came down to $99 and some odd cents. But at that meeting, I said, how much is it? You said 200. I said, you know what, I'll pay it. Mr. Regal here said, came up and they put $100 on this table. At the end of that meeting, Mr. Eister went up to Mr. Regal and said, it's taken care of. So that whole display of everything that happened, it was taken care of. I called twice to Treasurer Martina, and I was told, I don't know who paid it. And then it was paid anonymously. How convenient, right? So the other thing that was said in all of that was, it was said, once is a mistake and twice is a precedent. So was the mistake in 2017 when $317 was spent on two watches for Terry and Mike? Or was it 2018, so that would have been the mistake? For Cole's gift card paid out of private grants for Cheryl Delson? Or was it $421.25 when $374.66 was spent for Penny's watch, Juju's Pizza, and cake? And correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Councilman Trooper, you said you paid for that?
Well, I paid for my own.
Oh, you paid for your own, okay. Good, because I wanted to make sure I had that correct. So, okay, I went back, but I couldn't hear what you said in the meeting when I was watching it. So my concern with that is that when I have the right to know for, and that was paid out of finance office supplies, that from 5/25 to 12/25, there is no $374.66 reimbursement put into that account for Penny. And God love Penny, so now here's another employee put out there, but I have to do it. And thank you for her service. And that was taken out of the office supplies. And then, or was it the 2024 Christmas party that was spoken? And then on 2/25, it was $99.36 to let that retirement party reduce down to an anonymous donation. So, that's all I have to say.
Well, I have a public response. So, a couple things. Frankly, listen, this is not personal for me, and I like and respect both of you, and I know how much work you've done. You know I know how much work you've done. Frankly, to be honest, there's an outstanding expenditure for Life Fest Committee that I wanted to make sure made the expenditure list, which should have been submitted over the past few weeks. Jeff, you got it? Please say. If not, it'll be on its way soon.
Have you contacted me about an expenditure?
I haven't heard a word.
Listen,
Nothing.
So again, you are making it personal. No,
no.
you are making it personal. So
What?
we've handed everything in. So if there's a question, we've
Listen, I
everything
feel like there's a
contacted.
combative tone in what I'm
Your
saying.
combative tone with me last time when you were yelling at me. That was.
All right, hold on, Victoria, let Nate,
No.
you listen, you make your statement or what you want to say.
Okay, so what do we need? What do you need from me?
Nothing.
I just said there was an expenditure.
I asked the vendor to submit the invoice because you guys had turned over all of your expenses, which I'm recognizing and acknowledging and appreciating, and I'm not.
Who's the vendor that you're asking for?
Well, at this point, it's for the Life Fest Committee to figure out, because it's an expenditure.
Well, how can I
it's a-
figure it out if you're not
okay,
gonna
I
tell
don't
me?
have the information, Nate.
It was for the caricature cutouts.
Number one, okay, so for the character cutouts, now,
This is.
okay, you don't have the whole story.
I
Right.
don't,
You don't have the story.
But the thing, well, which is why I didn't bring it up, because I said I
Well,
needed.
you brought it up now, so let's have the story. So it really falls back on the STEAM lab. It falls back on that gentleman because I contacted him about doing the cutouts.
Okay.
He never responded back to me. I sent him pictures of what we'd be interested in. That Mr. Pedro said that he would paint them. Months and months and months and months and months went by, and then all of a sudden I get this message that says, your cutouts are done. I didn't even know he made the cutouts. He never sent me a contract. I didn't respond to him anymore because I knew Pedro said if he didn't have it by the summer, he wasn't doing it. I'm not going to chase people. I did not sign anything for him to make those cutouts. He chose to do that on his own, so maybe he needs to have better practices, not me.
I didn't say that. I said.
Okay, but you didn't ask the question. So
I said I didn't get the invoice.
Oh my goodness, your tone of voice, Mr. Savage.
Because I said I didn't get the
Guys,
invoice.
guys,
Oh my goodness.
so what do you need from them? I'm not saying.
Nothing. It's an acknowledgement that you guys did what you did for Life Fest. And listen, this is not.
It's an acknowledgement of what I did for Life Fest, that
Okay,
I didn't
listen.
cause that problem. So you
The
know
other
what? I'll pay for the freaking cutouts because that gentleman
You
didn't
don't have
do his
You don't
job and contact me.
Okay. The other thing is, when we get an anonymous donation for a party, which, Chief, I have outwardly said enough, very clearly.
Who's she talking?
I do not fault you for retiring, I get it. And here's the thing,
She said.
I did make a mistake, I said that the last time, but I wasn't here for all those other votes, and I'm just being honest. But what I can also say is that when an anonymous donation comes in, and you're calling to say, oh, I just want to know who paid for this, I get it, and I appreciate that, and I understand that you're being transparent. That's also pre-decisionary, that we didn't vote on accepting an anonymous donation, which frankly, we didn't know came in at that point because we didn't know when the bills were coming in. So we had to wait until the next meeting to accept that as part of the bills.
You brought that whole shebang up. He walked a $100 bill, put it on the table, and he said it's been taken care of. So that tells me it was taken care of before the whole fiesta happened here.
That's not true.
So,
No, it's not.
then please, I don't understand
You
it.
made an assumption that's not
I didn't
true.
make an assumption. You told him
I'm
it's
not.
been taken care of. You can beat them.
Well, it was very easy. I didn't think that young man should take $100 out of his pocket, which isn't like he's.
Which we've offered to pay.
And I offered to pay.
I
And that's why I
understand.
called and asked the question
But
because I was going to
I
pay
don't
it.
know why it's such a combative tone.
You just combative tone me.
So the issue is
You know what it is,
resolved.
null and void, but the point was is that one time it's a mistake, second time's a precedent. The precedent happened years ago.
I didn't say it. I wasn't here. So when I spoke and I said about that, I am telling you.
Did you vote for the $317.63
Once.
for the pizza and cake and all that
Once.
stuff? So there say?
No, what I have is once it's a mistake, twice is a precedent. I didn't do it twice.
7:13. Any other public comment at this time? Any other public comment at this time?